Hello there, this is Liz Grace Christie. Thank you for tuning into my channel, Galactic Mythology. I'm here with another Weekend Goddess report for the weekend of June 13th through June 16th, 2025. Today is going to be a short report and a little different because I've devoted a lot of my time and energy into creating an Ophiuchus special for you all. Yes, the 13th zodiac sign, or rather the debatable 13th zodiac sign of the astrological wheel. I have created a lecture and a video / podcast that goes into the nitty-gritty of Ophiuchus, starting with the basics of the tropical system in astrology, all the way through to contemplations of the Galactic Center and its relevance to astrology and Ophiuchus's rightful place in the practice and study of astrology. I'm hoping to get that episode produced and posted within the next few days here in the future. But for today's report, we are going to focus on a fixed star that resides in the constellation of Ophiuchus, and it is a fixed star named Rasalhague. I'm probably not saying it the way it's supposed to be, but it is spelled Rasalhague. Rasalhague. It's a star that marks the healer's head. So Ophiuchus is the snake bearer. It's associated with Asclepius, who is a mythical healer. And we could say that this is the head of Asclepius, but we're not going to go too deep into the mythology of Ophiuchus in this episode because I want to focus on the aspect, very significant aspect, that is occurring Thursday into Friday as we have the sun in the later decan of Gemini, and it is at 22 degrees when we start the weekend. And that 22 degrees is critical because on the opposite side of that 22 degree sun Gemini is Rasalhague, the star I have just mentioned that is in the constellation Ophiuchus, but is in our tropical zodiac at 22 degrees Sagittarius. So we are entering the weekend with the sun opposite the fixed star Rasalhague. Now, Rasalhague is shrouded in mystery, just like Ophiuchus, its home constellation, is, and there are good reasons for why Ophiuchus and Rasalhague are so mysterious. For starters, it's really a mystery who that snake bearer truly is, because the mythology of Ophiuchus is very layered and involves multiple characters from the Gorgon Medusa to the centaur Chiron and all the humans in between, such as Asclepius and Perseus, and I'm sure a few others that are just not on the top of my mind right now. It's a rich tapestry of mythology that follows Ophiuchus, and I think it really highlights the enigmatic quality of this constellation and Rasalhague, which is finding itself opposed by our sun at 22 degrees Gemini this weekend, like I've been saying. And this sun in Gemini at 22 degrees is like a sweet little pansy, beautiful, colorful, making a cute little face, wants to hang out in the shade, not get too hot, while Rasalhague is like a blackberry bush that is growing very aggressively in my backyard right now here in Portland, Oregon. Rasalhague wants to destroy that Gemini pansy, and it will do it without any mercy, because Rasalhague is only the messenger of what is to come, which is more darkness. Sorry, guys. Because 22 degrees of Sagittarius is where Rasalhague is. And this last full moon in Sagittarius that we had was actually conjunct Rasalhague within a 2-degree orb. And then the moon moved on and went on to conjunct the Galactic Center, which is a black hole that resides at 27 degrees Sagittarius when we are viewing the cosmos through the tropical zodiac perspective. And with the black hole in mind, our sun will be opposing Rasalhague, basically the threshold keeper, different than Hecate, who is still active this weekend, but still a keeper of the threshold, to the Galactic Center, the center of our galaxy in which all of the bodies and gas that make up the Milky Way orbit around, similar to how Earth orbits around the sun. So our sun, when it enters 27 degrees of Gemini, which will happen on June 18th, later into next week on Wednesday, will be essentially opposing its own center. So it's almost like we're experiencing a galactic eclipse, right? When we have a lunar eclipse, the moon opposes the sun, right? Well, since the galactic center moves really slow, in fact, it doesn't move at all, we move around it, the sun is going to come and eclipse the galactic center on Wednesday, June 18th, and Rasalhague on Friday, June 13th, will be creating basically echoes of the future for us. Rasalhague will be generating foresight for us and what is to come. And I find this journey to the underworld fitting because we are in the waning phase of the lunation cycle, as we will be losing the light of the moon as each day passes by until the new moon, when the light of the moon will start to grow again and then be full once more. So we're ending things. There was a big karmic ripening over the course of this last full moon in Sagittarius. I personally had some relationships in my life and come to a close, and I know others have had various other encounters with karmic fruits coming to ripe in different shades and variations particular to their lives. And to add to the karmic destiny of this weekend and honestly the next 2 weeks, the lunar north and south nodes in Virgo and Pisces, mutable signs like Gemini and Sagittarius, are also at 22 degrees. And the nodes move a lot slower than the sun does. So we will be starting the weekend at 12 a.m. June 13th with that 22-degree sun in Gemini opposing Rasalhague, who is just the messenger to the black hole, at 27 degrees Sagittarius. And then we have the south node in Virgo at 22 degrees squaring the sun and squaring Rasalhague. And we have the north node in Pisces at 22 degrees squaring Rasalhague and the sun. The nodes will continue to square Rasalhague well into next weekend. It is not until Monday of next week that the nodes will enter a 21-degree status and therefore not on the hot point of the aspect of 22 degrees. But it's going to be a continuation of the karmic fruits ripening, spoiling, being put into the earth, and then sprouting once more. In evolutionary astrology, or at least K-Pachas, a teacher that I've never met but have learned a lot from through his online courses and his YouTube channel, calls a square to the north and south nodes a skipped step. And in this case, the sun is squaring the lunar nodes because it is the one that is moving fastest in this bunch that is making the square. And the sun has to do with our identity, our egos. The south node has to do with our past and habits that are familiar to us. And the north node has to do with our evolutionary path, that which is unfamiliar. Rasalhague is evolutionary, revolutionary, and mysterious. The sense of an identity crisis is very high this weekend. We may be finding ourselves doing things that we wouldn't normally do. So it's probably best to try and be conscious and intentional with whatever you step into this weekend, because the darkness is out, and it has been out. It is Pandora's box being open and unleashed, okay? And that Gemini sun wants to run around and frolic in the flowers, which is good and healthy. We should definitely go be in nature, but we need to not fear what is dark. We are in the waning phase of the moon cycle. It is going to be getting darker. The sun is going to come to oppose the galactic center, the very center of our universe. So the theme of identity is very high. Sovereignty, Saturn in Aries. We have Jupiter in Cancer now, so I think we could use that Jupiterian Cancer energy to really express our creativity in a way that is leading to a higher revolutionary point for humanity versus a devolutionary point of humanity. Explore, be fearless, but be mindful this weekend, because there are angels and demons certainly around, and it is up to us with our free will to will in either direction. So with that, I hope you all have a great weekend. Thank you for listening to the end. Hang in there, and hopefully you will catch the premiere of my Ophiuchus video. I plan to produce it and have it posted soon. If this inspired you in any way, I encourage you to leave a comment and to share this material with others. Your support means the world to me, and I look forward to sharing more things with you. Catch y'all on the Ophiuchus special. Toodles.